Hello everyone, today I will be reviewing Vertigo. Vertigo is directed by Alfred Hitchcock and stars James Stewart and Kim Novak, and according to Sight and Sound magazine, it's the greatest film of all time. At least this is what they said in the 2012 poll. And it focuses on James Stewart's character, who is a cop, well, an ex-cop actually. So he starts off being a cop. We see him at the start, he's chasing a criminal and a cop over a roof, and he ends up almost falling off the roof and hanging on for life. And as a result of this, a cop tries to help him and ends up falling to his death. And this means that James Stewart's character ends up having acrophobia, which is a fear of heights, which gives him vertigo, which causes dizziness, which is where the title comes from. Now what happens in the film is that James Stewart's character, Scottie, he meets up with an old friend, and his old friend wants Scottie to spy on his wife because he thinks his wife is acting strange or possibly possessed by somebody who has long been dead and coming back to life to haunt her. That probably sounds a bit strange, but the plot is actually fairly easy to follow if you're actually given it all the attention you can and actually focus on it properly. And if you've seen any Alfred Hitchcock's films, you will know what to expect from this. Now, what I love about this film is the camera work, and it really works really well. This is actually one of the first films which used the dolly zoom effect, which is where the camera zooms out and at the same time is also focusing in. So what I mean is that the camera moves back and it zooms in, or vice versa, and this helps it distort the image slightly and give you a feeling of dizziness, which obviously works in with Scottie's vertigo and acrophobia. Now, James Stewart is known for playing the nice guy and the good-natured, honest man. He was almost a Tom Hanks of his era. He's always playing a similar sort of character that, as the audience, we can relate to and we like. But he plays a different sort of character in this film that we're not used to him seeing. If you've seen James Stewart and lots of other films, you'll know what I'm talking about. But his character has a bit of a darker, almost obsessive feel to him in this one. But at the start of the film, he does play a very nice character who we relate to and we want the best for. But eventually his character takes a different direction, and it's quite interesting to see where that goes in this film. Now, Alfred Hitchcock is the master of suspense, and in this one, this is regarded as being one of his best films. I personally think Psycho is a better film, another film by Hitchcock, but this is also very good as well, and a film I really appreciate. So Kim Novak plays Madeleine in this film, and James Stewart's character Scottie is very obsessed with Madeleine and was following her around all the time. And we see their relationship develop over the film. And it's almost a metaphor for Alfred Hitchcock and his relationship with his actors in general. So Alfred Hitchcock was known for being very controlling over his actors and always wanting them to do the exact correct thing. And James Stewart's character, Scottie, there's a point in this film where he almost turns into Alfred Hitchcock in a sense, where he's very controlling over Madeleine and always wanting her to do the exact thing that he's saying. So it's very interesting to see the way that develops and the way Alfred Hitchcock films this. It's almost as if he's quite aware of what he's doing. Now whether he's critical of it or not is up for debate, but he's obviously very aware of it, and the kind of person that Scottie is as a character can be related to Alfred Hitchcock as a director when he's directing the films. There's a lot of scenes in this film which are very cleverly filmed and very cleverly done. There's a few very long scenes where James Stewart is following Madeleine in the car, and the camera is constantly switching backwards and forwards between James Stewart in the car and then our view from James Stewart's character driving down the roads of San Francisco, down the hills, and it all creates suspense. And this is what Hitchcock is very good at, especially in this film. He's done loads of other suspense films, but this is often one which is right in the middle in terms of his best films. So I've got ones like Dial M for Murder, Rear Window, Vertigo, North by Northwest, and Psycho. This was really the key period for Hitchcock, where he did these fantastic suspense films and the era that he's best known for. One character that I do have to mention is Mitch, who's played by Barbara Del Geddes. Now, Mitch is a former lover of Scottie, James Stewart's character, and it's quite obvious when you're watching the film that she's still very much in love with Scottie, but Scottie doesn't share the same feelings towards her. And there's lots of scenes in the film where they're together, when they're talking, and you can tell that Mitch has a very maternal instinct towards Scottie, but Scottie doesn't view Midge as a woman in the same way that he views Madeleine. So he's very obsessed with Madeleine, and he has this very ideal image of her throughout the whole film. But actually, we can probably see throughout the film that Midge would be a better fit for him, as he gets on very well with her all the time. And there's a scene in the film which is quite sad, which really, well, it's the last scene where we see the two of them together, Midge and Scottie, and sort of ends their relationship in the film in a way. And yeah, that's very interesting in general. And it's a very contrast. There is a big contrast between Midge as a character and Madeleine. I also have to talk about the music in this film as well. So the score is done by Bernard Herrmann, and Bernard Herrmann's done a few films with Alfred Hitchcock, such as Psycho. But this one, it goes very well with the themes in this film. Obviously, Vertigo and acrophobia, the whole dizziness aspect of it. When you're listening to the music, you almost do feel a little bit dizzy when you're listening to it, which is fantastic. It really ties in well with the film. And I think Bernard Herrmann, as a composer, probably one of the best composers of his era, does really well with all the Hitchcock films. And I think really, without the score, the film almost would be a lot different. And the score really helps elevate this film. And you get quite a lot of scenes where in between the scenes of dialogue and people talking, the camera just stays still, and you get these animations with these swirls and all these patterns going on, particularly at the start of the film and also a few scenes in, and you get the Bernard Herrmann score going, and that really makes you stop and think, and makes you think about what's going on in the film, and that is a very key bit to this movie. So this is an excellent film. I recommend it for everyone. I think everybody can enjoy it, although it might be a bit dark for the younger viewers among you. And yeah, it's my second favourite Alfred Hitchcock film. So my favourite is Psycho, but this is also a superb film as well. Yeah, so rating, I'm going to give it a rating of 9 out of 10. I think that pretty much sums everything up. Yeah, it's pretty close to being a 10. I know Sight and Sound said it was the greatest film of all time, but I personally don't agree with that. It's very close to being a 10, but no, 9 out of 10 for Vertigo. So Vertigo, so there we go. What do you guys think? Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.